In 1987, Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro starred in the classic noir supernatural thriller AngelHeart. Directed by Alan Parker and set in 1955, it tells the story of a private detective, Harry Angel, played by Rourke, who is hired by the sinister and very creepy Louis Cypher, played by De Niro, who hires Angel to track down a crooner called Johnny Favorite. Angel's investigations lead him to New Orleans, where he enters a terrifying world of murder and the occult, where all may not be as it seems in a devious plot orchestrated by Louis Cypher. But the biggest question is, can Angel solve this puzzle and leave his soul intact? Since the sad passing of director Alan Parker, I've had several people ask me in the Twitter realm if I would tribute Parker by exploring 10 things that you didn't know about AngelHeart. And as I like to put myself in the not disappointing fans category, today we are going to do just that. Not only to honour Alan Parker, but also because it's a great movie. So let's check it out.
You know, some religions think that the egg is the symbol of the soul. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Would you like an egg?
No, thank you. I got a thing about chickens.
Number 10, based on a book. AngelHeart is based on the horror novel Falling Angel, which was published in 1978 and written by American novelist William Hortzberg. Hortzberg would incidentally go on to write the screenplay for the Ridley Scott movie Legend. Fallen Angel the book and AngelHeart the movie have the same basic story. A private detective called Harry Angel is sent out to find a man called Johnny Favorite, whom has been missing since World War II, by a creepy client called Louis Cypher. But as with most book-to-movie transitions, there are several changes between the two. The one that stands out to me the most is the location, as in the book the story mainly takes place in New York City, whereas most of the movie takes place in New Orleans. Which I think gives the movie a unique and distinct flair, because let's face it, how many gritty street thrillers are set in New York City? Number 9, Paramount Pictures were interested, then they weren't. After the publication of his novel, Hortzberg got to work on writing a film script for his Fallen Angel novel. And at first, no movie studio was interested in the script. The script found its way to Chinatown and Godfather producer Robert Evans, who took it to Paramount Pictures, who then optioned the rights to the script, where Black Sunday director John Frankenheimer was brought on board as a director, who after a while was then replaced by fellow director Dick Richards. And when it came to the movie's main lead of Harry Angel, there were talks and negotiations of Dustin Hoffman to star in the role. However, Paramount's option for Falling Angel had expired and they were no longer interested in Falling Angel. So in a last-ditch effort to get the project off the ground, Hortzberg then teamed up with Hollywood actor Robert Redford to try and give the project some momentum, but even that eventually fell through. Hortzberg would go on to say that most studios who he took the script to weren't really interested because it didn't have a happy ending. Which kind of shows that they missed the point of the story or genuinely didn't understand it. Number 8, Alan Parker revived the project. AngelHeart's co-producer Elliot Kastner approached British director Alan Parker about the possibility of him making AngelHeart in England 1985. Parker was a fan of the book and agreed to direct, but he wanted to make changes, so he reworked the script and renamed it AngelHeart, so his version of the story could be more distinct from the original book. Parker was interested in the meshing of a traditional detective noir story and the supernatural, and it was Parker who decided to set most of the story in New Orleans. Parker moved to New York where he completed the script, and then travelled to Rome where he approached Rambo and Terminator 2 producer Mario Kassar about the possibility of him distributing the movie. And so the independent film company, Caro Loco Pictures, backed up AngelHeart financially, and thus the movie was now officially in production. Number 7, it was intended for Robert De Niro to play Harry Angel. The first choice of playing the lead role of Harry Angel was Robert De Niro. Supposedly, when De Niro first found out about the project, it was via a phone call by AngelHeart's co-producer Alan Marshall, where De Niro asked if Marshall was the producer of the movie Birdie, which he was, which was also incidentally directed by Alan Parker as well, where Marshall said that he was, where De Niro promptly hung up on him. I mean, wow, I guess De Niro really didn't like the movie Birdie. However, this didn't stop director Parker from meeting up with De Niro. In fact, it was several times over the course of a few months, with Parker trying to court the actor into getting him interested in the movie, with a lot of persuading taking place. De Niro was supposedly questioning every tiny detail of the script, but eventually De Niro became more interested in the minor role of the movie's villain, Louis Cypher, who is basically the devil, where he was subsequently cast in the part. While filming, Parker basically let De Niro direct himself, as the actor already had the sinister eeriness down perfectly. And there is a popular theory that for the role and the character's mannerisms, De Niro was impersonating his frequent director-collaborator, Martin Scorsese. And so, just like his pal Al Pacino, Robert De Niro also played the Dark Lord, as Pacino would also play the character 10 years later in The Devil's Advocate. Number 6. The rest of the casting. Parker's next choice for Harry Angel was actor Jack Nicholson. Parker flew up to LA to meet up with Nicholson to discuss the project, and although Nicholson and Parker got along quite well, Nicholson eventually turned the part down. The irony is, the year after the release of AngelHeart in 1988, Nicholson would also go on to play the devil in The Witches of Eastwick. Ay, all these actors playing the devil. The next choice for the part was Mickey Rourke, who at the time was getting recognition for starring in the erotic drama 9.5 Weeks, as well as starring in other movies like Dinah and Rumblefish. Rourke was really enthusiastic about the project, and thus he was cast. Rourke carries the entire movie. I really like how he plays the role of Harry Angel. He looks like a private investigator who has seen some shit in his time, but also at the same time is discovering new horror in his world, and he generates both intrigue and sympathy perfectly in the role. The part of Epiphany Proudfoot was cast with actress Lisa Bonet in the role. At the time, Bonet was most well known for starring in The Cosby Show, but Parker claims that that is not why he hired her, but rather because of the strength of her audition. Bonet gives a great performance in AngelHeart, however she supposedly found herself in some controversy over her role in AngelHeart for the movie's love scene and showing too much skin, as once again she was well known for The Cosby Show, which was considered wholesome family entertainment. Oh, the irony is insane. Number 5. The music of AngelHeart. AngelHeart was scored by South African composer Trevor Jones, whom had scored many movies including Excalibur, Time Bandits, and Labyrinth. Parker hired Jones thanks to his work on the hit movie Runaway Train. Jones would go on to say that before he signed on, he saw an early cut of the movie which left him shaking like a puppy. For the score, he wanted to emulate man's fear of evil, as well as the terrifying unknown that comes from evil. The score also used saxophone cues by jazz musician Courtney Pine. What stands out to me is the jazz and blues sound of the music in AngelHeart. It's hard to explain, but to me the music itself almost feels like a character in the movie, if that even makes sense. It makes it sound distinct from your average supernatural or crime thriller movies. The music in AngelHeart definitely gives the movie life and soul. Which, when you think about it, is very important, as the movie itself is kind of like a battle of the soul. Number 4. Promotional artwork. The main poster used to promote AngelHeart was this one, with Mickey Rourke fleeing from a sinister orange glow, with a giant Robert De Niro looming over him, like he's orchestrating the whole ordeal, which, to be fair, is the plot of the movie. But I don't know, to me this poster just lacks that particular razzle-dazzle and just doesn't look particularly interesting. Also, as mentioned, it makes Robert De Niro look like he's in giant mode. To me, this European poster is much more interesting, as we see illustrations of De Niro and Rourke side by side, with the elevator scene underneath them. It doesn't really say much about the plot, unlike the first movie's poster, but to me it looks more visually appealing. The French poster is weird, as it once again features the noir-looking elevator, along with the disembodied heads of Rourke and De Niro floating about the place. Now, I don't want to trash on someone's artwork, but it kind of looks like a crude cut and paste, like they cut out pictures of Rourke and De Niro's heads and just stuck them on there. I love this Japanese poster of the Cypher character walking into the sinister orange glow. To me, this perfectly captures the supernatural noir feel of the movie, as well as having a dark and dirty grit about it. It looks great. Number 3. Failed remake. Oh yes, that dreaded word that no movie fan wants to hear, remake. But thankfully it seems that AngelHeart is one of the movies that was spared. Well, so far at least. In 2008, producer Michael DeLuca was optioning the rights to AngelHeart and its book it was based on, Fallen Angel, with the plans to remake the movie for a modern audience. DeLuca expressed that he was a fan of the book and movie and seemed enthusiastic about the project. But as of 12 years later, there is still no remake in sight, so it seems likely that the project was abandoned. DeLuca incidentally also produced a remake of another horror classic, Fright Night. The closest AngelHeart has gotten to a continuation was an opera that was adapted, which was based on the original novel Fallen Angel, which premiered at the Bevard Music Centre in 2016. Number 2, AngelHeart was originally rated X. After filming AngelHeart, Parker would spend several months editing the movie together in Europe, and to his shock, when he submitted the movie to the Motion Picture Association of America, AngelHeart was hit with an X rating. This was due to the love scene between the Harry and Proudfoot characters, as it was felt the scene was too suggestive and graphic. Parker tried to lobby for the movie to get an R rating, but his pleas fell on deaf ears, as the association was sticking to their X rating. What made matters worse is TriStar, whom were distributing the movie, refused to release it with an X rating, as they had a policy not to release movies that are rated X. That and AngelHeart's release would have been very limited with an X rating. So the pressure was on for Parker to act. He really didn't want to make cuts to his movie, but also didn't really have a choice. He appealed the decision for an X rating again, but his pleas were ignored, so he begrudgingly removed 10 seconds from the infamous scene, and thus AngelHeart got the R rating that the studio wanted. Parker would go on to describe this experience as a quote, wasteful, pointless, and expensive exercise. Number 1, AngelHeart released. AngelHeart was released in March 1987, and sadly it didn't perform too well at the box office. It opened up at the number 4 spot and would go on to make just over $17 million, failing to recoup its $18 million budget. The critical responses were also mixed, with many critics feeling that the movie was style over substance, in that it looked great, the sets and designs were spot on, but the story that accompanies it was lacking and didn't really go anywhere. I've said this before and I'll say it again, did they even see the movie? One person who praised the movie was the original author, Hortzberg, who felt that Parker did a great job of retelling his story for the big screen. Director Christopher Nolan also praised AngelHeart, and claims to have used it for inspiration for his movie, Memento, and Wired magazine ranked it at 22 in a list of 25 greatest horror movies of all time. Although AngelHeart didn't catch on when it first came out, it has become a cult classic, a movie that has aged like a fine wine that has had its full merits realised in time. So even to this day, fans are getting behind this underrated gem and praising it, and are able to see the movie for what it is, a captivating, tragic, spellbinding tale about the battle of the soul. I think that there is a reason that AngelHeart is the Alan Parker movie everyone wanted me to cover. It probably is Parker's masterpiece. But above all, it's a compelling horror mystery that is worth its weight in cinematic gold. So if you haven't seen this movie, check it out, it definitely deserves more love. Anyway, I'm Minty, and the sight of seeing Robert De Niro eating a boiled egg will never stop being creepy. See ya!